Okay, trying something new here, straight into the video without any introduction screen or anything. So we are going to use Ulder Ravenguard, Marshal. Bit of a weird name, kind of cut short, Marshal of what, who knows. But yeah, it's a very interesting, unique white-red aggro build, looking to get double triggers off all your other creatures with ETB effects. And then when he attacks with another attacking creature, you conjure a duplicate of that attacking creature into your hand. So it's pretty simple, but at the same time quite complex. You want to have a lot of ETB effects in the deck. Some of the greatest stuff like Guardian Saver could be pretty awesome, because you play this out, you can return 2 creatures to the battlefield, which CMC 2 or less, return to the battlefield. Then if you play Ulder Ravenguard, you get a copy of it with, well, it gets double team when that attacks, then this goes into your hand, then you can replay it, and so on and so forth. Basically, yeah, it sounds complicated, but you want to play stuff with ETBs, you want to put Ulder Ravenguard into play, attack with the original attack creature you had out, get a token of that, replay it over and over and over. So I've put in stuff like Glorious Protector, which is quite interesting because you can get this out and start attacking with it, get a copy of it in your hand, and then when your guys are threatened by board wipe, you can flash this in to protect your non-angels. So you can kind of go pretty long with abilities like this. Obviously, you've got Solemn Simulacrum, which is just really nice, just to give you a land and draw a card when it dies. You've even got Tishar as well, which lets you get stuff out of your graveyard. So there's a lot of 2-drops in here. You've got stuff like Cloister Gargoyle, which just lets you venture into the dungeon when it comes into play. But if you can get multiple copies of this out, it seems pretty good. Archivist of Ulgrimmar is one of the latest cards, which lets you draw and gain life if someone tutors for something. And then you've got classics like Lord Warham gets you a land to the battlefield, Spirited Companion gets you a card when it comes in. So yeah, lots of little nuanced things. But if you're into red, white aggro decks, this is probably going to be up your alley. I really enjoyed using it, and yeah, it was just really fun. If you want to have a go yourself, the deck list is in the description below. Don't forget to drop me a like and a sub if you like what you see. And as always, check out my Ko-fi donations page to help support the channel. So let's get into the games. We go first against Valentin, Dean of the Vein. Starting hand isn't too bad, but I fear that we may need one more mana. And yeah, I just don't, yeah, this just doesn't feel that safe. This is quite a bit better. We've got the Cosmos Elixir to push us forward, and the Showdown of the Skulls, which is one of the best red-white cards I think they've ever made for 100 card formats. Ooh, Borski, a Tollkeeper. It's good, but I'd rather just get more lands here to get the Cosmos Elixir into play. And the Showdown. So turn 1, they go for the Valentin. Which is pretty good. Okay, so now we have the Welcoming Vampire. Probably want to play this first, and then we can go for the creatures with power 2 or less, and that way we can draw some cards at the very least. Because these guys don't do anything at the moment. They all rely on something in the opponent's graveyard. So there's a very high chance that Welcoming Vampire won't last very long. It probably gets killed. I mean, if it does survive, it would be lovely, but I just can't see that happening. So Valentin says, if an untoken creature an opponent controls dies, exile instead. When you do, you may pay 2, and if they do, they get a 1/1. Really powerful. I love how it just exiles something for 1 black passive ability. Really powerful. Attacking me with a menace. So what do I do here? I could go for the Charming Prince, and then the or I could just go for the Showdown of the Skulls, maybe. No, let's go for the Charming Prince. I don't want to really risk not getting more lands, so let's scry. Ooh, 2 lands, that's perfect. Let's keep those on top. And yeah, we'll leave them back as defenders, I think. The other reason for not playing these out yet is because the Welcoming Vampire only triggers once per turn anyway. So playing it out means we actually lose on a 2-for-1. Because otherwise this would just be a 2-1 first strike. Or a 2-1 first strike, weirdly enough. Go blank makes us discard 2 and then exile. So we can get rid of this land. And then I think I'm going to get rid of the Gatekeeper because I want to keep the value stuff in hand. Also, being able to use this on them might be effective as well, making them lose 2 cards. I don't want to do it just yet. I might want to wait until they get... but saying that... what can we do? There's so many options. It's almost like combo aggro in a way, because we can play Ulder. We could also die fleet and make them discard. Now, let's just go for the showdown here. Yeah, then we can play these lands here. And Strangle's pretty good. I think I'm going to Strangle the Realm Walker. So it seems to be an elf deck. Well, they've chosen elves anyway. And yeah, we'll pass. So it's nice to have 2 creatures out when you've got the Showdown of the Skulls, because... ooh, the Inquisition's going to hit our die fleet. That's a shame. So now we can't make them discard their cards, but... and also we miss out on drawing a card with the Welcoming Vampire. But at least we get to potentially keep the Cosmos Elixir, unless to have another discard effect. I just ate a really big ice cream milkshake thing, and I feel kind of sick. So let's see if my gameplay can stay on point. So they've just attacked with Valentin, which is slightly unusual. I'm not sure why they just did that. They didn't have to attack. Yeah, very weird. Okay, so we definitely want to go for this card here. Yeah. This lets us put a counter on Charming Prince, which makes it slightly better blocking. And then Cosmos Elixir as well. Yep. Okay, so they're going to be attacking us in the following turn. So again, we're just going to be really defensive, which sounds really weird being white-red deck. Yeah, I get it. It's weird, but I just want to stop them drawing cards because they're going to get at least... okay. Doing some interesting things here. I think I personally would have attacked with all 3. Okay, Brutal Cathar is really awesome. We can exile maybe the Lizette. What should we exile here? There's so many choices. It's going to be Lizette or the Toski. Do they have lifelink? They don't, so I think Toski's the answer. We'll keep the Sokanzan up even though they know we have it. And then we'll go for the Ulder Ravenguard here. So what do we want to give double team? We can give the Charming Prince double team. And then if they do choose to block, then that means they lose the Lizette. So it's very unlikely here. Getting a Charming Prince to hand is awesome because we can use it to essentially flicker something. Maybe the Brutal Cathar, we'd get desperate. We've already drawn a card this turn with the Welcoming Vampire, so actually I'm happy to just leave this here. And maybe play it in the following turn. I'm a bit scared of Lizette though, because they were very intent in playing it. Great Henge. So now they can make their whole team bigger just by paying 1 and whenever they gain life. And it's for every instance of life gain, isn't it? Oh, that's pretty brutal. But we might be able to do some interesting things with the Charming Prince here. Because we can flicker the Brutal Cathar and then it will get Lizette. I mean, we could even block. No, I'm happy to take 5. It's just 5 for now. Elite Spellbinder. Okay. So we have a lot of options here. I think we're going to start with an attack. Yeah, let's get aggressive here. So we can get a duplicate of the Cathar. This is actually really OP. I think Wizards... this is Wizards' way of basically saying sorry for all the white-red generals that failed before him. So they're going to double block on the Cathar. Yep, so we'll be able to trade with one of theirs. They're down to 13. They get Toski back, and they get to draw. So, not the greatest. But now we can play the Brutal Cathar, which can get rid of the Lizette, because that is kind of scary. We draw a card. So as you can see, we're just cycling through our deck here. ECD, fantastic. So we have an answer for the Great Henge. I think that's what we're going to go for. Yeah, because the Toski is good, but... And a Cemetery Protector. That is kind of good versus graveyard decks, but in this situation, yeah. So this deck is essentially greatest hits of all the best white and red creatures. Very fun to play. Aggro Balling gets killed, releasing the Valentin. So if they swing this turn, they get to draw 2 cards. God blimey! Imagine they still had the Great Henge out. They'd be drawing like what, 3 or 4 cards a turn. So that was very important to get rid of that. Once ECD goes to stage 3, we'll be able to get the Cathar back. Arboreal Grazer. So let's go for the Spellbinder. See what we're working with. Might be something in the hand we can make more expensive. Oof, definitely Vivian Reed. Let's make that more expensive. And then we could even flicker... We could even flicker it to make the Sorin cost more. Yeah, I think that's definitely what we're going to do here. Slow them down at all costs. Lantern Flare. So this does X damage to creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of creatures you control. So let me just get this straight. So 2 mana means this does X damage, and you gain X. Okay. So let's get a combat. So we attack. I think we'll just attack with these 2. Which means we get a Charming Prince to hand, which is just kind of ludicrous, isn't it? Blocking with the Valentin. They really don't care about their Valentin, do they? Kind of interesting. So we can just play the land. I guess we can just go for the Charming Prince again. Yeah, we just had... This is crazy. Charming Prince with... That's just insane, the amount of loops you can do. Really is a thinking man's aggro deck, this is. So I haven't faced a feather deck in a long time, and as soon as I make a Boros deck, a white-red deck, we face feather. So, kind of strange. I guess at this point it isn't really strange, kind of expected. Strangle does 3 damage, but not to feather. It's got 4 toughness. We do have some really good cards though. Swiftblade Vindicator. Do I want to kill that? Actually, no. No, I don't. I'd rather... Yeah, kill it with the Strangle, I think. But then I do miss out. Yeah, so let's go for the Restoration here. I think next turn we'll try Strangle and Fateful Absence. Yeah, we want to establish our mana before we... Because it wasn't very mana efficient to go for a 1-drop, because then we would have had 2 mana loose. Pushing out the mana, the 3-drop there is a lot more effective, I think. So they go for Feather here. I'm actually quite happy because it means their shields are down. But they go for Mila instead. Okay, so now that is a priority target. So yeah, let's discard the Mountain. So sadly, we will be giving them a card, but Mila is so strong. Especially if they can give them protection and stuff, we have to take care of their threats. And I feel like Elite Spellbinder's okay. No, we'll go for the Nadal because we can try and block the Swiftblade if they don't pump it. I think I want land on top. And it's a land. Okay, so obviously their deck's going to have a lot of pump spells, so they're probably going to have a way to increase this guy's power. So they attack. I don't think we block. Ooh, they've got Reckless Stormseeker. That means that's going to be 6 damage. That is a trade, though. Haste, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample. So these will trade. This has Vigilance. Do I want to do this? I think so. We'll get it out of the way. It seems devastating. Like, if they give that a huge pump, it could really hurt. So we get reinforcement here. A 3-4. Now, what happens if you have Ulver create a double team of a flip card? Well, that would be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Let's go for Basri's Lieutenant. Counter on here, and I'm going to leave up 2 mana to Fateful Absence if needed, and then pass the turn. So I'm interested in doing the Ulder Ravenguard play on the Architect, just to see what happens actually. Feather, and they've got 1 mana open, and that could be anything. Okay, so kill it in response. So that was really lucky. I was hoping that was going to happen, and we weren't going to see what happens with the Architect. I guess my presumption is that you get a copy of Restoration of Iganjo to hand. Who knows? Maybe someone in the comments can tell me. And enters the battlefield, another target non-token creature you control against double team. Now that would be, yeah. Maybe someone in the comments tell me, how does that work? Ulder plus a flipped creature like this. Cool. Putting us first with Prosper. Our starting hand's actually kind of decent. And I'm only saying that because of Storm's Wrath. If they have a heavy creature build, then the Storm's Wrath is actually going to be sick. Like, I'm happy to just not play anything really. So they have 4 mana for the Prosper here, so it might be worth. Interesting, going for Davriel. -2. Oh, that's so powerful. Turn 3. Spells you cast cost 1 black less. You lose 1 life each creature you control. Wow, that's a lot of things. That's a lot of things. Yeah, so just going to pass the turn. They could get another deal here, which is going to be really disgusting. Yeah, that downside doesn't even affect them. Come on, play Prosper so I can kill everything. Arm Scavenger. Another creature perhaps? No? Do I just hold off a little bit more? Yeah. Let's just wait a bit longer. Let's just be super greedy here. So, big score. Okay. Got rid of a language. So they got rid of their own white. This, by the way, I don't really recommend doing what I'm doing here, but they don't know I've got the Storm's Wrath. Another offer. Come on, be detrimental. Something detrimental. I'd love to see them lose their own emblems. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. What the hell? Exile 2 cards from your hand. If fewer than 2 would exile this way, each opponent draws cards equal to the difference. Wow, that's an immediate downside. Wow, that's kind of painful. Anger of the Gods, another board wipe. They really don't want to play Prosper, do they? Hexproof. Wow, and an Urabrask. Well, we're going to be able to kill all these things. This is actually really awesome. They are not going to be happy with our next turn. They are not going to be happy at all. So they exile the top card. We can't use it. Esper Sentinel. So let's get a Plains, and that way we can cast it after the Storm's Wrath. So everything was everything worked out. Yep, Storm's Wrath takes out everything they have. They've got a couple of emblems, but yeah, we'll be good. They're gonna gain a lot of life. Here comes Prosper. We do have another answer for it in the book, although this gives it hexproof, right? And death touch. pretty disgusting, not gonna lie. Rip apart. Okay, so we've got a two-part synergy here. Get rid of the shield. That's a really weird graphic. It's like, wee, kind of pathetic, to be honest. And then we can Cathar the Prosper. I mean, they're probably just going to use Chandra, but it would have been nice to get some cards off with the Welcoming Vampire, but not much we can do about that. We had to get rid of their stuff. Damn, as if they're just gaining passive life. It's just like playing Ulder. So they get rid of the Cathar.
It's my turn.
They get the Prosper back. Yeah, this does suck.
Now you're playing with fire.
We might be able to kill Prosper with the response though. Ooh, Fateful Absence. That's probably just the way to go, isn't it? Or do we... Yeah, the only way to get two for what? Yeah, we're gonna have to kill the Prosper and then attack the Chandra. And hopefully this connects. We do have a way to give ourselves indestructible. Nice.
This was a waste of my time.
And then we can go for... We'll go for the Welcoming Vampire here. Because next turn, if I go for the Ulder and get the double team for Welcoming Vampire, then we can start drawing two cards off our 2-power creatures or less. Pretty wild. But yeah, the fact they're gaining life every time they draw is pretty crazy. Fail push. I suppose we get the discount of a card back. So, damn, that was lucky they had effect with Blood on the Snow. What on earth? They're playing cards so fast and furious here, it's really hard to keep up, unfortunately. So they get more conditions. They lose 6 life. Okay. We desperately need to find a way to kill Davriel again. I have to say, the opponent's playing really quick, so... Drawing cards. They are drawing a lot of cards. And, yeah, we'll go for Ulder. So, we don't get the immediate effect, but... So that's until end of turn, sadly, but... Whenever he attacks, we also get, you know... another copy of it to the hand anyway, so goodness me, so many triggers here. Inquisition will get rid of probably the Rahilda. No? Okay. Another Prosper. Yikes. And okay, sure thing. Yeah, this is quite sad. Not sure what to do. Their defense is so good. Although we can kill it if they choose to block, right? With a response. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, yeah, that's cool. We can kill either one of these with the response, in fact. Who do they want to block with? That's the question. They choose to do that. So we'll kill the land here. I mean, they knew that was going to happen, didn't they? We draw another card. Sadly, just a land. So, yeah, this is a really hard match. I feel like they just depleted us. Whenever they draw a card, gain 4. Wow, pretty crazy, actually. So many triggers. They lose 1 life for each creature they control times 2. Okay. But they keep drawing loads, so... Oh no, not a Liliana. Why did they have to get a Liliana? Oh, that sucks so badly. I feel like they're playing it at very high speed. Almost as if they're on a roller coaster and they really can't control what's going on. Wow. Okay, I guess we're just going to have to lose the Ulder Ravenguard here. Pretty brutal considering that I did oppress them very early on. But, yeah, they just prospered and Davriel gained them so many things that spells cost cheaper. Interesting, so they just take the hits, pretty much.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win with life this game, that's for sure. And another plains. That's kind of crazy. We lost all of our card advantage. We lost Welcoming Vampire. We lost Esper Sentinel. Locket. Can we pull this back? I mean, we're definitely going to need to have more than planes. Please. At this point, they're going to die to more than life loss as well.
Rise and shine.
What the hell is going on here? Okay, so our whole hand's gone. Do you know what? I mean, I'm normally pretty good with knowing what's going on in the game, but this is just breakneck speed, to be perfectly honest. I am kind of struggling to see where these cards are coming from, which is pretty rare for me. Oh, I see. So the sacrifice a creature, draw a card, and then Liliana draws on a card. Right, that's where they're getting the cards from. Really, really dirty, this deck. I mean, Davriel's not even their general, you know? Shatter Skull Smashing. X damage as you choose amongst 2 creatures and or planeswalkers. Okay. So we have 9 mana. So I suppose we can go for 1, 2. So if X is 6 or more, it deals twice. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that should be enough. Then we can go in and kill Liliana via the flyers. So actually that was a pretty good top deck, but they still have so many things. Oh man, I should have attacked first because now they're drawing cards, aren't they? And they're at 60. That's pretty crazy. So 2 here, 2 there. Let's just send an extra one at Lily just in case they kill one. Yeah, that was actually a mistake to do that. I should have, I guess I wanted to hit him with the Rahilda.
I will rise again.
Yeah, this life loss is just negligible. Spells cost 2 black less to cast. Crazy. Black Market Connections, Crux of Fate, and a Prosper. Unbelievable. How could they lose? Yeah, I think I'm going to call this now. They've got so much advantage. 3 cards in hand. They can draw more, make more things with pretty much infinite life. Drawing cards gives them 4 life, gives them an extra card on end step. Yeah, I'm going to call that quits for that match. Unfortunately, that just got totally out of control. Damn. Okay, now here's one you don't see very often. Kaya Orzhov Usurper. So it could be an exiled tribal, perhaps. Certainly deals with a lot of graveyards. Maybe this person's just sick of facing against Muldrotha. Could be the case here. Not sure how powerful the rest of the deck will be. Kaya's kind of middle, not really that versatile, but if it's like a white-black control shell, could be a very difficult matchup here. Yeah, I think we need to go for the Cold Steel Heart because we don't have access to red, sadly. And let's hope they don't have access to destroy this because that will just wreck us pretty good. Ornithopter. Okay. So, how scared am I of that? Strangle can hit walkers. The Pyre can hit walkers. The Abrade can't. So let's just get rid of the Ornithopter here. And yeah, let's pass the turn. We can do some interesting things with the Teshar. Ooh, looks like they're missing land drops. No, they hit a land drop. So yeah, let's discard 2 cards. This is really, really risky. Okay. Ooh, Rahilda and a priest. So let me think about this. So yeah, I think we go for priest first, because if they kill this, then we can go for the Tashar and the Rahilda. But saying that, yeah, let's just get them both out. No time to lose. Because then I suppose if they kill Rahilda, we can go for Tashar and then Ulder eventually, and we can get to Rahilda from the graveyard. Because Tashar says whenever you cast a historic spell, whichever creature with mana value 3 or less will go into battlefield. So I feel like they've got a board wipe there, so potentially we don't want to commit to the board any longer. We do get to steal 2 cards potentially. Ooh, Curse of Silence, wonderful. That's a fairly decent hit. And a non-creature hit, more importantly. Wow. Opponent might just quit here, to be honest.
I've learned much during
Put a counter
my
on this guy.
travels. Let me show you.
So Rahilda will flip,
I've
but
got new moves to
I mean it's
teach
probably
you.
going to die anyway. Kaya Orzhov Usurper. So is it automatically populated? It is. So now their Kaya costs 2 more. A board wipe will greatly help them, but we just have established so much goodness here. Yep, so it was Doomstar. As expected. Ooh. So they don't have anything like Thoughtseize in the graveyard, but they do have a Doomskull that we can use eventually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can go for Tashar into Ulder, and then that will get back the Rahilda. So they have another board wipe, we're absolutely screwed, but... yeah, let's get back Rahilda. It's the strongest one. So here's the weird thing. Their Kaya would have actually been really good to stop this happening, but they didn't. Obviously, they didn't see that coming. So they really probably want to kill Tashar. So we'll put a counter on Rahilda, because this is tricky. Unless they've got a board wipe, then
Show
these are all
them how
tricky. Because if
weak
they don't
we
kill
are,
Tashar,
enemies.
this can resurrect stuff. If they don't kill Ulder, we clone stuff, and then if they don't kill Rahilda, we steal stuff from the deck. There's a lot of patterns here to be had. Chances are pretty high they have another board wipe, but Blood in the Snow would be just devastating. They do have Snowlands, but... Liliana, I keep seeing that today, kind of strange.
Your
Making us sack
hook
2
from
things.
battle to the grave.
That's interesting. So we'll sack these 2 only because we can recast the Ulder. Oh, Historic Spell. Cool. So we can get back the Rahilda already. But I think this time I want to go for the Priest, just because I want to hit a land drop. Nice. And the counters work super well with the Sentinel, because it means they have to pay even
We've
more
got the edge in this fight.
to stop us drawing. So we're in a really good position here. And once again, the fact they're not going for the Kaya early means that we're just running away with the game. And I don't feel like there's necessarily a need... Oh, you know what, let's just go. Because if they had a board wipe, they would have used it last turn, wouldn't they? So we get the Rahilda back again. Yeah, the sequencing there was pretty bad, because if I'd done this prior, we would have had a Tashar in our hand, but there you go. Once again, you know the words. Board wipe screws us over. But at least we'll potentially draw a card, depending on which one it is. 6 mana. If they don't have a board wipe, they're in some deep trouble. Makes you think that, doesn't it? A white-black control-y deck. I guess there could be 4 or 5, maybe 6 board wipes. Davriel again. Okay, keep facing him today. Davriel and Liliana, it's almost like they're a married couple or something. Very strange. Killing Tashar, interesting. But that's good, because it means that Esper Sentinel lives on.
I have got new moves
Okay,
to
so let's do
teach
some
you.
cheekiness. 3... So these guys are going to strike here, and then the priest goes for the Davriel. I mean, they're still hanging in tight, so who knows? Maybe they have a board wipe. Another Esper Sentinel. Wow, and a swords. Pretty awesome. Rahilda is awesome. You all know I love this card. There's no reason to not go for the Sentinel. So now they're going to have to pay a lot. for each non-creature spell. And we'll be drawing 1 card for each. So, Emiria's Call, wow. So the funny thing is, we can also cast an Emiria's Call as well. That's interesting. Oof, or we could just go for the double combat. So, if we give Rahilda an extra counter.
Show them how we greet
Yeah,
our
well,
enemies.
so creatures you control gain first strike vigilance, and then after this main phase is an additional combat phase. So we go for the combat phase. Pretty insane. We'll get another copy of the Sentinel. And we can sword one of these guys. Yeah, it's not looking good for them, unfortunately. They do gain 4. So we've got first strike and vigilance. So if they go there, we can Sacred Fire this guy. And that means Rahilda just takes it out before it can deal damage back. And then we get the coup de grace. Oh, that was splendid. I really did like that. I hope you did too. Oh, that was nice. Don't forget to check out more of my videos, and also my Ko-fi donations page. You can donate as little or as much as you want.